Okay, what we have here is our Beocord 4500 cassette deck. And I had an issue with actually 3 of the belts in here. And I'm not going to replace the door belt here because this looks pretty good, and it's a little bit of a struggle, I think, to get in here and replace that belt. But I do have 3 belts that I actually all 3 of them are busted actually. So I'm not a trained professional, but I'm attempting to do this myself, and I've taken it apart already. And I'm gonna have to work in reverse to make a video for everybody. But as you can see, I'm gonna replace this belt up here. Then I'm just gonna open this up a little bit here. And then there's the counter belt, which is actually on the front side, but I'll show you. This is the main drive belt. You can see it's just totally melted there. So I'm gonna replace that belt. Then on the front side here of the tape deck, there's the counter belt. Right here, that's totally broken. So I have 3 belts to replace. Also going to replace the pinch rollers down in here. I'm going to do that last. But I got this little kit here from the Web Spare Parts. And this kit came with 3 belts. Actually, it didn't come with the belt for the counter. So I'm just going to use another belt that I have laying around here. But it did come with 3 belts. Came with the door belt, the drive motor belt, and then this belt up here on top. And they also came with the pinch rollers as well, so I'm going to replace that. Okay, I just separated the metal housing here, metal chassis, to expose the belt that's totally toast. But I'm going to clean this up. You can see it's all gummed up and it's broken here, so I'm going to clean this up with some isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip. And also, you can see the belt is just completely broken right here. So I got to clean this pulley up here, and this one as well, and this one. So we have 3 to clean up, and then we're going to reinstall that belt. So that was pretty easy to clean. Just took some isopropyl alcohol, 91%, put it on a Q-tip and cleaned this all up here. Just spun it. Also clean these up the same way, the same manner, using Q-tip each time. Just could spin these around right here. Spin them around. Cleaned up the outside here where the belt sits. See where the belt sits right here. Cleaned that up. I cleaned this pulley up here. So I cleaned up 1, 2, 3, and 4. Got those all cleaned up. Now I'm going to install the new belt in just a moment here. Okay, here's that new belt. And I'm going to install this new belt here. But basically it routes around this pulley here, this outside pulley on the right side, around here, around this black pulley here, and around this other side here. So it basically connects with this one, and then this little white pulley slips right in here in the belt. So I might have to pull the belt out just a little bit to make it hit that pulley as well. Okay, so I got that belt on here now. A little bit tricky because you have to get it underneath this little capacitor as well. So I suggest to put it around this top black pulley first, and then I just have this blunt object here. It's not sharp or anything like that, but it's a small screwdriver with the tip missing. I gently push the belt underneath this capacitor right there, so the belt could come under and come over here and put it on this pulley right here. You can see the black belt. So again, you got to get it around this black pulley here first, then put it underneath this little yellow capacitor here, and then it should pop up over here on this side. Be able to wrap around here. So got that on there. Comes around here, and then when I put that other piece on right here, this piece, that belt is going to be sitting right in here, putting a little tension on here as well. Okay, so basically I have to get this little white pulley onto the belt. See the belt? See the belt right here? So I'm just going to stretch this out a little bit to put it over the pulley, this white pulley, and then push this down as I'm stretching it out just a little bit. Okay, there you go. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit. So I use that little object, that little pick with no tip on it, to get that belt around the pulley and push this metal chassis down into the spot. So I'm just going to push it down and then put the screws back in. Okay, so that was a little tricky to get on there. So again, I had to use this little blunt object here to get the belt, stretch the belt a little bit, while also holding the belt on the pulley. If you don't hold the belt on this pulley, it'll slip down. So you kind of have to use both hands by holding one finger here. You got to remove this screw as well. One finger here holding the belt in place as you're pulling the belt to get on that white little pulley that, if you remember, that was under here. So you got to kind of do that at the same time. And if you notice, the belt rides pretty low. It rides on the bottom half of this pulley. It's supposed to ride there, from what I can tell. See the belt on there? Spin it from up here. See? So that should be all set. Okay, I'm remounting this metal chassis here. I already put the 3 screws in. Here we go. You can see one right here, and these are like Phillips head, or there's a Torx head. 1, 2, and then the third one's over here on the other side. So that secures this metal chassis down. Okay, I cleaned that nasty counter belt on the front here. You can see my hands are all black. So that thing was totally toast, totally melted. Actually, there's some more on there. Good thing I got my phone. It's hard to see, but you can see there's still a little bit on there. So basically a little belt from here to there's a little groove here that belt sits in. But I got to clean that off first. So I got to find a belt that's going to fit. So I just bought this cheap pack of belts here. I think there's about 100 in here. So there's bound to be one that would fit, because it does not come in the kit. Okay, like I said, I just got a cheap, simple belt. Put that right on there. Looks like it'll work. So I just popped the metal chassis back into the plastic outer. And I had 4 screws here. So I got one up here. I don't want to forget this ground here, so the ground goes there as well. So there's a ground that went there with that screw. One there, one on the other side, and then also one up top here. There we go. So there's 4. There they are right there, those 4. Okay, I got those 4 screws in. There's 1, 2 with the ground, 3, and then 4 under there. So now this has to sit flat against the main chassis here. So I kind of got it propped up. So, and I also got to plug this wire in. That's an easy step. But you have to kind of maneuver these wires as well. They were kind of tucked under here. So I got to retuck those back in. I'm going to put this chassis back down. And then I should have, let's see, I think I had 3 screws, which I'll show you in just a minute here. Okay, this was the easiest belt by far. This one came in the kit as well. It's on the underside of the chassis. Seems like all is turning. I think we're good to put the last last 3 screws on here. Okay, so put those 3 screws in. One silver one here, one of the silver ones here, and then the black one, what's going back here with a silver washer. That's secured the chassis here. So I have about maybe 6, 7 more screws, mostly for the cover and the top lid here. Then we should be good to test it soon. Okay, I'm ready to put the top cover back on. Now you notice that this one just flops here. This other side over here on the right side's got the motor, and see this one's up. So when you put it on, this top lid, you actually gonna have to lift this one up into position and hold it there. Okay, you also want to clean these cooling fins in the back here. Brush them down, but there's tons of dust built up here. Just use a Q-tip. Kind of shreds it a little bit, but just keep going down, brushing it down, all the dust down. Tons of dust built up in here. Get another Q-tip. Whoop, see all that dust? Be careful not to get it in here, the circuit board area. So I'm brushing it down. Kind of pushing it out onto the other surface here. Clean it out good. Okay, you got to make sure to slide these little nuts in these slots right here. See the slot? There's 3 of them on the top. 1. Where is it? 2. And then 3 over here. So slide the nuts in the top up here, and then you have your screws right over here in the back. I have them over here on the side, right here at 3. Okay, I'm going to slide the top lid on each side here. And here's the lid. It just slides right on and pops right into this little track here. It's pretty easy to remove. I didn't think it was going to be that easy, but you just have to kind of pull the little tab back, this little tab here, and then it slides up. I'm going to put it on now though. Kind of got it halfway on. Wanted to show everybody here. So you put it in the track here on each side. Do it even. I'm gonna let it kind of drop down. I'm gonna grab it in the middle here and slide it down. You gotta do it kind of evenly here. See, it slides down. So actually I can't do it with one hand, so I'm gonna have to put it down. Oh, there it goes. A little bit hard with one hand. So then I'm going to push it up just a little more, and this little plastic dot will pop in that hole. But I'm going to put the phone down. Okay, so once you keep sliding it, you'll hear a little pop. And it's basically this tab here going into that hole that I showed on both sides. So if you ever need to open the lid again, it's fairly simple actually. Just need to take a little screwdriver up here, put it in this hole here, and kind of bend this tab, and then you kind of pull on the lid to pop it from this side. Then you move over to the other side, do the same thing. Put it in here, kind of pry it, and pull it with your other hand, and it comes off real easy. So that should be it. I have the glass here. Well, I didn't put the glass on yet. The tape, the double-sided tape came free, so got to put the glass on here. But I'm going to give it a test now and see if it works. Okay, I forgot to mention I had to close the lid, so I just basically plugged it in and closed the lid, and it's upside down now, and I had to put these screws in here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 7. 7 screws in the back here. So I'm ready to give a test. Hopefully it'll work.